Welcome back to another episode of the Align for Success podcast. I am Deborah Deras, your hostess with the mostest, here with another amazing guest. Why? Because in order to align for success, we have to realize that success leaves clues. And there are people all around us that are doing things that we aspire to do, that they are living their dreams, they're fulfilling their passions. And when we ask them questions and listen to their answers, we can find out their success strategies. We can find out the inner mindset that gets them out of fear and into action. And that is what the Align for Success podcast is all about. My intention was to share with you my mentors, people that inspire me, people that are out there living their life purposefully, not having a job, but having a joy, and to bring them right into your living room, right into your kitchen. You don't even need to go anywhere. You just need to show up and pay attention. And when you do, guess what? Success leaves clues and you can model their success. So that's what we're going to do today. And by the way, I always like to define what success is. I mentioned this last week. When I was younger, I used to think, oh, success looks like this and it looks like that. And then real life happened to me, and I realized everything is temporary. Relationships can be temporary. Where you live is temporary. Even where you work is temporary. The only thing that is real and infinite and permanent are the qualities within, like inner peace, like freedom, like joy. So for me, success is qualities. It's not things, it's not possessions. Is do I go to sleep with peace in my mind? Do I wake up with joy in my heart? Do I have the ability to express my unique talents, skills, and abilities through my work as a joy, not a job? If so, yes, that's success. And we talk about aligning for success because when you align with your core values, your thoughts, your emotions, your behaviors, you find yourself living in integrity with your soul. And if you don't, I know when I'm out of integrity with my soul. If I take a gig that is not for my highest good, or if I'm hanging around with a person that maybe is an energy vampire, I'm like, ooh, this doesn't feel good. Vibes do not lie. And today, your vibe is going to go way high through the roof because my friend, who you're going to get to meet today, is going to really inspire you by the way he lives his life, by what he does, by what he's up to, by how he moves and grooves in the world. And you're going to love him, okay? But before I introduce him, I want to remind you of a few things. Number one, we have a policy here at the Align for Success podcast. Those of you that are back, you already know what that is. And the number one policy is you can ask questions, you can comment, you can share anything that you have for our guests. You can go ahead, put your comment, whether you're on Facebook, whether you're on YouTube. Feel free to interact with us because this show is literally for you. Our other policy is sharing is caring. So, if you will, right now, I would really appreciate it. Share this out to your people. We know that the more people that are aligned and in an integrity, the better the world's going to be. Literally, what would the world be like if everybody was living on purpose? Pretty amazing, right? All right. Okay. The other thing I want to remind you of, it's so exciting to me. I don't know about you, but I love listening to podcasts. In fact, every night before I go to sleep, I either listen to a podcast or Audible, right? Just finished Let Love Rule with Lenny Kravitz. Wow, that was a good book. Anyway, so the Align for Success podcast is now on Apple, it's on Spotify, it's on Google Podcasts, and all of the places where podcasts are found. So if you are not preferring to do a video live stream with me, you can also listen to all of the replays on Apple Podcast, Google, Spotify. Just look up Align for Success TV. Oh, yeah, TV. Why? Because it's a TV show, but you can find it right there on your phone. Second thing is, I know you're so busy. And sometimes you forget. Oh my God, it's Tuesday. I partied like a rock star yesterday on Labor Day. I forgot the podcast was on. Well, guess what? You do not need to forget anymore because now you can get notification. All right. You can text 1-844-920-1572. It's on there. I know it's a long number, but you can just write it down, take a picture of it, and put the keyword align. And then once a week at 6:15 p.m., you will get a text saying, "Hey, we're live. Get your butt over here. Turn on your live stream. Here we are." All right. Okay. What else do I want to let you know? Oh, make sure that you're also following me on Instagram and YouTube. I am at Latina Speaker. Why do you want to do that? Because I have lots of gifts for you on there. If you go to my Instagram, I have this three-part mindset, marketing, and manifestation program. You can download that. It's a three-part video series to ignite your revenue. Who doesn't want that? What else? I have about 25 free marketing webinars this month. How are you going to know about it? You got to go to Instagram, YouTube, follow me. There's a link right there. You can find out where they are, when they are, how to sign up. Okay? Sound good? I'm talking too much. Okay, let's get to our special guest because he's super special. And I can't wait to introduce you to him. His name is DJ Unique. The Unique stands for universal, non negative, irresistible energy and quality. And he created the acronym because he tries his hardest to live by these words. Isn't he great? He moves through many spaces with all types of people through all walks of life, all non negative, super positive. And he tries to see the light in all situations. Irresistible is when you provide something great and people can't get enough, like the podcast, right? Energy, he strives to go all in every event or every task. And quality is he tries to do what he does and do it well, and he does it really well. Please help me welcome my friend and yours, Quay, DJ Unique.
Good evening. Hello. Greetings. I was just in the chat talking to Victor Orlando. You know Victor Orlando also?
Yes, I know Victor.
Yeah, that's Uncle Victor right there.
Oh, that's Uncle
Yeah.
Victor?
Yes. We well, I've known him for a while, mainly from, on the circuit and at the floor. And he sent me songs every now and then for me to check out. He sent me two songs, Africa, I believe the name was. Please correct me, Victor. And the other one was Time to Party.
Oh,
And when I heard that Time to Party song, oh my gosh, I was floored. Okay, so I grew up in the Virginia area, and in the DMV area, people listen to go-go music. That's, you know what I'm saying? That's like the hometown. That's what we do. And the track is a go-go track. So as soon as I heard it, it inspired me to I just started rapping, and I just was like, oh my God. So I had fun with it, and I recorded it, and then I sent it back to him, just, you know what I'm saying, just to see if he would even like it or not. And
right.
he liked it enough that he put it on the remix, and then he put it out. I'm like, yo. So shout out to Victor Orlando.
Yeah, he's such a
He's a
great
really nice guy.
guy. Oh
Yes.
my God. I just
Yes.
love him so much. And I'm sending you all the positive healing energy, Victor. You know, you're always in
Yes.
my prayers
Yes,
every
sir.
single day. I love
Yes,
it.
sir. Shout out to Victor Orlando.
Come
And
on.
shout out to you, Deborah. Thank you so much for inviting me and having me here with you this evening. It's a pleasure. As I was telling you in the pre, I'm normally not on this side of the screen. I'm usually on your side of the screen. Interviewing people and asking them questions. Just something along the line in my trek through life. I started really liking doing that. Because as a child, I'm telling you, I would never shut up. Like my mom would all day be long be like, shut up, Quay. Come on, give me 10 minutes, give me a break. Like I used to have a t-shirt that said Mr. Chatterbox. Like I could not stop talking, got kicked out of class, everything, every day. I just could not stop talking. But the older I've gotten, the less I talk now and the more I love listening. I just like listening to people tell their story. I like to hear about it. I just keep asking them more questions so they can keep telling me about their story. And I figure most people really, really enjoy that. They really enjoy that. And as much as I enjoy listening, I'm like, okay, I like doing this almost as much as I like DJing. Almost. I still like DJing more. Music will always win with me. But I like talking to people and hearing their stories.
Yes, it's so fascinating. I think that's why recently I'm only reading biographies because before I would always read self-help books and
Uh-huh.
how to improve my life. Now I'm like, you can learn from people's
A
experiences and that,
100%.
right?
100%. I gotta be like, no, no, bad Quay, because I haven't read in a few months now, and it's usually. Bleh. But anyway, when I super got into reading, it was mostly autobiographies. Because
Right?
because even biographies I enjoy, but I like to read the story with that person's voice in my head, and it's almost like they're telling me their life story.
Exactly.
And I read it a while ago, but then I reread it again. Um, was was it I Sing? Is it I Sing, the Sammy Davis Jr. book?
Oh,
So good. I can't believe it's not a
really?
movie. I
Oh my
cannot believe
God.
it's not his story. And Quincy Jones' book, I've read it multiple times. Had the opportunity to meet him once, and he even signed it for me too. Swoon.
Oh
Uh,
wow.
but the fact that his life is not a movie is mind-boggling to me because the man's the man. The
Yes.
man is the man.
You just answered a question I didn't ask you, which is what autobiographies do you recommend for me to read? Because I'm done. I finished Lenny Kravitz, finished Mariah Carey. Now I'm on to the next one.
You
Yeah.
know, I was reading some of Mariah Carey's memoir. I was in a bookstore one day, just kind of wasting time waiting for my daughter to finish something, and it wasn't so bad. I didn't go back and
No,
pick it
it's
up
really
again.
good.
Okay, okay.
It is really, really good. And what I loved about both Lenny and Mariah is they both had a section on Prince. I was like,
Turn up.
yeah.
How
But
could you
Prince
not?
was always more helpful to the women than to the men. So,
He
Mariah
was nice.
got,
He was nice to me. I
oh,
will give him
yeah.
that. He was nice to me, so I'll give him that. Yeah.
Oh,
What up,
well,
Shayla? What up, Rosa?
so when did you meet Prince? Let's start with that question.
Well, I'm not trying to name drop or anything. Okay, here we
Well,
go.
you mentioned it.
I know. My friend Vakisha. Big shout out to my friend Vakisha. She lives out in Hawaii now with her beautiful family. Turn up. So she was close in that camp. I think Prince had a type. I think
Uh,
Prince had like a light skinned, curly hair, type. Because a
uh-huh.
lot of times I always see him with the light skinned, curly hair. So Vakisha was the light skinned, curly hair. So she was in the camp.
Uh-huh.
And finally one day she asked me, she was like, this was like late after I just finished doing like a bar mitzvah or something. And she hit me up. It's like, what are you doing? I was like, well, I'm going home. And she's like, hey, you want to spend at Prince's house? And I was like, yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What?
So she was like, all right, boom. She sent me the address. I show up and I make it past security and all that, park on the street and stuff, come up to the house, knock on the door. Lo and behold, Prince answers the door. You know what I'm saying? I'm like,
No me digas eso. Are you kidding me?
I am
He,
not. No, I am not kidding. So he opens the door. He's like, yo, Vakisha said you were coming. Are you hungry or anything? So he took me through I guess one part of the house and we went to the kitchen. They had food on the counter, it was all set up and stuff. He's like, if you need anything, just it's right here. Everybody's downstairs, follow me downstairs. So he took me downstairs. Once you go downstairs, there was one room. Don't know exactly what was there, but then right next to that in a glass enclosure was his motorcycle from Purple Rain. I was like, what? And then
what?
right across from that was like a little setup DJ booth that he had. And so we left and then you go past the motorcycle, then you go to his like it was a room set up that had drums in there, had bass in there. There were a few people in there sitting around. That was cool. Um what is her name? Oh, I can't believe I can't remember her name, but his DJ, she was playing for a second, and then they asked me if I wanted to get on. It's like 45 minutes later, and I jumped on. Um, and lo and behold, um, I got the DJ. And while I was DJing, Prince was playing the bass guitar, and Sheila E was also there. She was playing the drums, and
What?
I was playing I was playing the JBs, doing it to death, and they were playing along with it, and that was like, kill me now. I
Oh my. Okay, I need details. What year was this?
I have no
Oh, you don't
idea
remember?
the year. This was a
Was it in
long.
the 90s,
No, it wasn't. It
2000?
was definitely in the thousands because I moved here in '98, so that was '99. Didn't really start DJing again until like 2004. That had to have been like 208,
Ah,
209, something like that. Yeah, it was a
wow.
while ago. It was a while ago. But it was one of those as soon because after everybody partied for a little bit and played music for a little bit, then he has a theater downstairs also, and they were watching like a live concert that he did in Europe or something like that. By the time I'm done, so I said thank him so much for a good time, then go home. And as soon as I left out, because my mama lived on the East Coast, so as soon as I walked out of there, it's like 6 o'clock in the morning here, so 9 there, and I called my mama like, "Mama, you wouldn't believe what I just did. Turn up."
Victor's
So
like, that's amazing. I
it was
know
cool.
Victor, right? Oh my God, that's crazy.
It was cool.
Whoa. And
That was a moment. I will always remember. I will always remember that moment. So you spoke about life being about memories.
yes.
So that's one of the ones that's etched in stone.
And it's not just about memories, it's also about alignment, that you are
Yes.
in the right place at the right time with the right people and you are ready, right? So they
Yeah.
ask you to do it. You don't have to get ready, you stay ready. So how
Yes.
did you start your career as a DJ? Like how did you get into this?
Oh man. My lazy answer is always is hereditary because my father was also, excuse me, a disc jockey, and even though I didn't grow up with him, I felt like I've always have been a DJ. Even when I was a little kid, when I was like 5 years old, before I had any equipment, I was like draw pictures of equipment and pretend to DJ while the DJs were DJing on the radio. Slowly built up equipment here and there. You know what I'm saying? I used to have this little record player. I used to have this tape deck. This is back in Virginia. Shout out to everybody in Virginia. Turn up. And I would make these little mixed tapes with the record and the tape deck. And man, that's some old gear ago. Man, that's some old gear ago. So I would say probably professionally, I've been playing since 14. I was 14.
Oh wow.
There was this guy that lived in this town I lived in called Winchester, Virginia. His name was Bronson. Uh, rest his soul. He had me come down and audition for him. I think my mama knew him, but she gave him one of my tapes, and I went down and auditioned for him at the Elks down on Kent Street, and nobody danced. So I felt so defeated because
Oh
nobody
God.
danced. Like even my mama was still sitting back there just watching. That wasn't until I learned the psychology of DJing. You know what I'm saying? But he came at the end of it and was like, "You did a good job." And then some of the people came up too and was like, "You did a good job." I'm just a 14-year-old kid. So
Mhm.
I was geeked. I was all happy. So after that, I started traveling with Bronson and opening up for his parties. So it
Wow.
was like little 15-year-old me in nightclubs opening up for Bronson. It was cool.
Oh my goodness. I have so many questions. So, Michael says rep Wink City, he says.
What up, Mikey Lickalider? That's
Look at
Mikey,
that.
high school friend. Turn up.
That's so amazing. You know
I
what I
shared it.
think
I
is
shared it with the high school alum page.
oh, good, good, good. You know what you said that I think is so fascinating is that your dad was a broadcaster, and even though you didn't grow up with him, because my brother is so into cars, and
Hmm.
so was his dad, but he didn't grow up with his dad. So I just think it's fascinating, like the genetics, like it gets into your soul,
It
like
gets into
the
your soul.
interests of the people that give give us life, that it's in us,
Could you
whether
imagine
they're
that?
that's so fascinating,
That's
right?
fascinating. It is. It really is. And I usually that's why I say because I never had a. I woke up in the morning. It's like I want to be a DJ. Like that never
Right.
existed. It just was always how it was.
Yeah, it's like in
That's
your
it.
DNA.
It's in the DNA. Never thought about it.
Oh, wow. And so what is the psychology? Can you tell us? Or
With
is
the
that a
psychology,
is that
what
is that a secret? The psychology of DJing. You said to get people dancing and to get the crowd going.
Oh, well, that comes with time and experience. You know what I'm saying? Once you
Uh,
learn how to read people, you learn how to read a room. You learn what songs you play at what time. Like all of it's all psychology. And then
oh,
it's
so
just things
you
you
have to
just
like
come with
use your
time.
intuition and be like, okay, this crowd is more rock, or this crowd
Yes,
is more dance, or this crowd
yes.
is just lame and whack. No, I'm just kidding.
There are lame and whack crowds. There really are. There really are.
There's also lame and whack DJs because
There's plenty
I
of
went
lame
to
and
a
whack DJs.
I went to a particular party. I'm not a big I love every music genre except techno.
Uh-huh.
And that's, I mean, you couldn't request a song because like they just do playlists. Like there's a
Uh-huh.
list. You can't go up and be like, well, we feel some like New Jack Swing. Like, no, that's not gonna happen. I'm
Yeah.
like, all right. Oh God, yeah. So I really believe that music is a healing force. Like therapy is a healing force and music is a healing force. I think that my number one thing that I went to during this pandemic, living, I don't even have an animal to like turn to in my house. Well, I have a shark, but it's a blow up shark. I don't have like it's just like so I would turn to music and I remember one time being so sad and so down. It was just like I literally had hives because where I was living it was just the wrong place and I didn't know what was going to happen with my career. And I just went to Facebook and there you were. And you were spinning and you're like, it's lunchtime, turn up, and we're gonna do a New Jack Swing mix. I was like, oh yeah, oh yeah. And you did
Yeah.
heavy D and like you were just going deep. And I was like so happy. I was like, you healed me. Music saved my life. Thank you. Can I say thank
Well,
you to you live on the air?
you
Thank you.
yes, and I'll say you're welcome, and that's awesome. And that was something that I learned during this process. Shout out to Victor. Victor said music is healing him through his recovery now. So yeah, I'm glad that that's working out for you, Victor. Music has always been my go-to. Anytime I feel out of whack, if I'm feeling, what I'm saying, if I'm feeling down, because I can come on and do hot lunch and be all turned up, and as soon as I, stop, I'm back in my poo poo again. But usually, if I listen to a decent album, that usually changes the trajectory of my day so many times. I don't know if you guys know Tom Misch. Tom Misch is an amazing musician out of Europe, but his album Geography, I highly recommend everybody listen to Tom Misch Geography. It is just a vibe.
How do you spell Mish?
Misch.
Okay. We're
It is
taking
a
a note.
vibe. His album Geography, I'm talking every song. It's just a vibe.
Okay.
And it
Gonna
trans it
check it.
transcends your emotions. So I recommend Tom Niche. But kind of going back to Hot Lunch, which you tuned into, which started as just that. It started as, oh, it's a pandemic. I can't go outside. I got to stay inside. What am I going to do with my life? Like, oh, well, my family and friends are at home also. Why don't I jump on and do a live stream that everybody can watch, just for an hour a day? That'd be cool, just to get your mind off of whatever's happening.
Right.
So I did that for a few months. It was getting a little frustrating because that's when Facebook and Instagram was getting really big on catching you if you're playing copywritten music,
Oh yeah.
and you would get snatched off mid mix.
Oh
And
really? Is that
oh
what they were
yeah,
doing?
oh you get knocked off just immediately. One of my biggest turnoffs as a DJ, just since forever, if I get told to turn it down, it kills it. It kills it for me, and I'm like, you know
Right.
what? I'm done. So
Right.
same thing with Facebook. If I'm grooving and they just like cut it off, it's a turn off. It's like, oh my gosh, this is whack. So when I
Right.
was starting to get terrible, a friend of mine hit me up and she said, "Hey, I see you doing this Facebook thing every day. Are you getting paid for it?" And I was like, "No, it's just for my family and friends. Like it's an hour. It's cool. I'm not worried about that." She's like, "What? Do you want to get paid for it?" Well, I was like, "Well, I'll never say no to money. What's up?"
Right.
So she introduced me to a platform called Bigo, Bigo. And once I found out that you can stream on Bigo uninterrupted, I was like, I grabbed that baton and ran with it. There was also Twitch, and Twitch is an excellent platform. For some strange reason, I don't know why. I have way more traction on Bigo than I did on Twitch. Started
And
both at
how
the
are you
same time.
spelling it? Vigo?
Oh, Bigo, B as in boy, Igo.
Oh, like
B I
bingo.
B B. Oh no, Bigo,
Bingo. But no N.
but no
Oh, the
N.
end.
Yeah,
Oh, the
hold in.
end.
There'll be no
Okay.
N in the Bigo.
Okay.
Yeah, so I just been running with that platform, and Hot Lunch has turned into a thing.
And
Like
now
it's
you get
turned into
paid
a
for it?
thing, and I get paid for it.
That makes me
Uh,
so happy.
to do it on Bigo, it's broadcasting all over the world. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Oh
it's
my
it's
god, that's super
cool.
epic. So now you're an international DJ.
I, in a sense, on the Bigo app, yeah, and on Twitch, yeah, because there's people that be chiming in, "Hey, I'm in Amsterdam. Hey, I'm in Germany. It's
Right.
I'm over here partying their music," and that's to me that's incredible. I know
Right.
we have technology, so we take it for granted. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But that's incredible. It's incredible, even just what we're doing right now, that I'm at my house and you're at your house and we're sitting
Right.
here live having a conversation for everybody else to watch and chime in on. That's incredible. And I think sometimes we get mad spoiled, and when our phone is not have if it doesn't have good reception, and we're like, oh, this thing's a piece of junk. Or if I'm saying, you get something slow over here, something slow over there, it's like, oh, this thing's a piece of junk. It's like, no, this is awesome. Could you imagine 20 years ago somebody tell you can get on an airplane and take your phone with you and watch any movie you want
Yeah.
to
Right.
on your phone while you're flying through the sky above people? That's that's incredible to me. And
It
I will never take that for granted. I can't. It blows me away of the things that's possible.
Yes, and that's what I love about your mindset, because you may not know this about yourself, or you do know this about yourself, but you live an infinite possibility. You didn't go on the lunchtime, how can I make money? What you said is, how can I serve? How can I help? How can I give people 60 minutes of happiness away from the mundanity of their day, right? I mean, and that's what, reading all those autobiographies, most of the people don't say, how can I make money? They're always like, how, Mariah Carey, how can I share my voice and my talent? Lenny Kravitz, how can I share my musicianship? Right? It's like,
Yes.
it's serving and sharing. That's a success strategy that you do naturally, right? That maybe other people, that's not the way their mindset is, because, and it's really, I'm guessing that you have an abundance mindset. When you think about opportunities and possibilities, what do you think about?
I think about everywhere which way that something can go.
Right.
And sometimes it's to my own detriment. I will say that, because I'll get super excited about something, and before you can even put the groundwork together for it to become something, I'm still in the clouds with it, like, oh, this is amazing, this is gonna be. But sometimes I still forget that you got to put a foundation down before you go, running off with the baton into the sunset. But I 100% believe in abundance. I 100% believe in anything is possible if you want it. And then I also always feel that it's never about us. It's always about what we can do and how we can help others. So even with Hot Lunch, with the trajectory of where it was going just on the platform, it's just me dancing and singing, blah blah blah. But I'm like, how can I bring more people into the fold? There's a little audience here. A few thousand people will stream it. Maybe not all at one time, but a few
Right.
thousand people will stream it throughout the thing. I'm like, okay, this is cool. Who has something that they want to promote?
Right.
Especially musicians. What musicians on here? Do you have music? Send me your music. Let me check it out. I'll play your music. You want to come on and talk about it? I'll bring you on a show. We can talk about it. So that's been another leg of trying to help the Hot Lunch show grow. And then something that I just started this weekend that I'm super excited about is Hot Lunch to Go.
Ooh,
Now,
to go.
yes, with Hot Lunch to Go, basically what we'll be doing is going and setting up and doing the stream from a restaurant. I did the very first one this Saturday at El Cid. Shout out to Steve. Shout out to Ben. Shout out to Coach. Shout out to Chef Wang. The food was amazing. Shout out to my brother DJ Prophet, who was my very first guest on the show. So Hot Lunch is a 2-hour stream.
Yeah.
So when we do Hot Lunch to Go, it's 2 hours of me DJing the normal stream like I do from the restaurant, and then I have an interview with a special guest while we eat the food at that restaurant.
How freaking cool.
Yeah. So it went off without a hitch this Saturday. So I'm very proud. The next one is Thursday. Um, we'll be at Cold Crush in Lancaster. I called
My
my
mom
friend.
lives in Lancaster,
I'll turn up.
California.
Lancaster, California.
No way. My mom will be there. My mom is a party animal. My
I'll turn
mom
up.
is a dancer. She went to
Oh,
Juilliard.
turn up. So
Yeah.
see, it's in the
She'll be
DNA.
the first one on the dance floor.
It's
Yeah.
in the
Like, it's in
DNA.
the DNA.
Yeah.
So, okay, wait. It's called Cold Crush.
Cold Crush in Lancaster. Apparently, my friend Mike, he knew the owner Derek there. And when I
Okay.
was pitching Hot Lunch to Go to Mike, he was like, "I got the perfect spot. They got an amazing chef that makes excuse me, shrimp and grits, which is like on my to-do list of food to eat every time that somebody serves shrimp and grits. So apparently this
Okay.
chef makes amazing shrimp and grits. So that's what's going down on Thursday. Some shrimp and grits is going down.
Thursday, what date?
This Thursday, the 9th, September 9th.
At night too?
No, it's from 3 to 6. I had to change the time of hot lunch because hot lunch is from 12 to 2. But I'm at the mercy of the restaurants whenever they can open. So if they
Okay.
saying 3 to 6, then I'm doing 3 to 6 on Thursday.
I'm gonna tell my mom because she works for herself. Now she just started her own business, like, she's 72. She's like, "Oh, I'm gonna become a business owner." So I'm like, "The great thing about a business owner is you could take a hot lunch to go from
You
3
sure
to 6
can.
on Thursday."
You
I'm
sure
like, "You
can.
want you wanna get out and mix and mingle? Go ahead." See, now that's awesome. And that is such a genius idea because so many restaurants are trying to have a reason to have people come in, right? Because
Uh-huh.
everybody's been used to getting DoorDash and Uber Eats, and having entertainment like you will get people to sit down and eat more and drink more. So it's a win-win. It wins for you and win for the restaurant.
That's the goal. That is the goal. Yeah,
Cool.
and my goal is to find as many not main I don't really want to do mainstream restaurants. I want to do places that has like a specific thing. Like if you
Yeah.
go to Debbie's restaurant, y'all got the best crab cakes in all the land. Like I want to
Yes.
go to that place so we can highlight those crab cakes.
Yeah, I should ask Mercedes in Venice. She does Caribbean food. It's like kind of Cuban,
Ooh,
Jamaican, Cuban type food. And they
sounds
would bring like a
delicious.
salsa band or something. They should bring you. I'll tell them. Let's manifest that
Let's
with the
manifest
power of
that.
synergy. Anything is
Hey,
possible. That's
yes,
my
it is.
tagline. Yeah.
Yeah,
Ooh.
I've been putting a few interviews out into the ether. Be like, oh yeah, I want to interview that person. Oh yeah, I want to interview that person. Yeah, my short list has Craig Robinson on it because he's friends with the floor, like the floor community.
Ah.
I've seen him a few times. I would go to his gigs and stuff. So I want to sit down with Craig Robinson. There's a singer named Duran Bernard who is just one of the most expressive, talented, vocal range is out of this world, just an amazing talent. So I want
Mhm.
to sit with Duran Bernard, and then boop, skip, 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 and then Jamie Foxx is one of the ones I want to put on my. I want to sit down with Jamie Foxx. I just think he's just conversationally one of the
Yes.
funniest people ever,
He's hilarious.
just
I
in
was
conversation.
I was watching him on Instagram Live. He was at some party. They were hilarious. I'm talking
Yeah,
over the weekend. He's so funny.
just not even
So
trying to be,
no,
just yeah.
naturally. So speaking of podcasts, let's talk about your podcast. So not only is he a fantastic DJ and manifesting gigs right and left, I love it through your brand, but you also have a very successful podcast. Let's talk about your podcast.
Well, it's the Unique and Cheese show, which is currently on hiatus as we try to
Okay.
find. We got to find a new time to do it because my co-host Cheese found a new job.
I heard. Yeah.
Hallelujah for him. I'm happy for him, super
Yes.
happy for him. So we just have to find a time to do it that we can commit to say like, okay, every whatever is when we're gonna do it.
Right.
Um, but we're still trying to figure it out because that's our best times to hang out with one another is while we were doing the show.
And the
And then
show's long, right? It's like 2
it's
hours,
like two
right?
hours. It's like 2 hours. It's three of us. Is my friend Cheese, and then my wife KK is on the show, and then we'll have a guest. So usually the 2 hours goes by so fast
Oh,
because
really?
we'll come up with the things that we want to talk about all within the first hour, and then the second hour is dedicated to the guest. So it goes by really fast. But yeah, I miss doing it. I really miss doing it. It started off just Cheese and I in my garage recording it. And then he had gotten injured and had to get surgery. So I would go to Glendale. He lives in Glendale. I would go to Glendale. We would go to the Glendale library and set up in there and record it in there. And then once he got better, we started recording again. And we were even on the radio station in Lancaster, 100.9 The Heat
Ah.
for a few weekends. But then doing the format this way on StreamYard, I couldn't put it on the radio anymore because on the radio, we would have the conversations, but I'd play like, 10, 15 minutes worth of music.
Oh,
And then I can't post that on YouTube or any of the other
right.
channels. I don't have the clearance. I was like, what do we do? So
Oh.
that's when we just took it right to StreamYard. And that's when we started to find the most success was doing it that way. So
Ah.
I look forward to getting back on it again.
I love it.
Yeah, Victor Orlando. We had Victor Orlando on the show. He was an amazing guest.
Speaking of hot, it's gonna be hot as heck in Lancaster on Thursday, just so you know. It's probably gonna
Really?
be over 100. I think it was
Gross.
100 today, so make sure you
Okay. Well,
realize and wear a
we'll
tank
be in
top.
we'll be
Bring a towel.
inside. We'll be
Yeah,
inside,
that's
so it's
true.
all good.
They have air conditioning. So, for people that wanna start a podcast and feel overwhelmed by the possibility of it, what advice do you have for people out there that are thinking of starting a podcast?
Without overthinking, because I would say don't overthink, but first, just what do you want to talk about? You want to start a podcast because you want to talk about something. What do you want to talk about? That's what I would focus on first, is trying to figure out what it is that you want to talk about. And then maybe even think about who do you want to talk to? And at least you'll know who to cater your material towards. And then technically, I wouldn't put too much emphasis on trying to make everything the technical, I don't know if I'm saying this right, technically the best way. I wouldn't worry about that at first. I would come back around and then buy expensive mics and a mixing
Exactly.
board and this and that. Like, you don't need all that. You can literally use the microphone that's built in on your computer, the camera that's built in on your computer. You can use all that stuff and just start from there with whatever you want to talk about.
That's such a good advice. I bought this fancy schmancy camera, and I
Uh-huh.
can't even get it to work. So I'm
Yeah.
using the camera, and then I bought this fancy schmancy podcast microphone. I'm using my headset.
See,
It's like,
you don't need any of that stuff.
but that's one of the keys to your success and also my success. I mean, one of the things that we both probably we jump into things without having everything set up. So yes, we're learning to be more strategic and set
Yes.
things up. But it's better than being an analysis paralysis. I have people that have been researching microphones for months. They get
Hmm.
them, they don't hook them up, and then they're concerned about like imposter syndrome, what people will think about them on camera, and then they just don't do it. What
Yes.
advice do you have for people that are like camera shy to go live and be seen and visible?
Get out of your way, because
Yes,
everything that you're putting in the way as a pitfall, you put that there. You
exactly.
literally, you know what I'm saying, even for the people with the analysis paralysis, that you're doing that on purpose. You're wasting time on purpose so that you never get to it. And then maybe try to figure out what it is about success that you're afraid of obtaining. Because maybe they don't want to do it because they figure, maybe this is going to go really great. Then what are you going to do once
Mm,
it goes great? You know,
right.
so with majority of the things, we have to get out of our way. I'm constantly tripping myself up like, yeah, no, just get out of your way. Um, whatever somebody was going to say about you, they're going to say about you anyway. So I wouldn't worry about what people are going to say about you. Just whatever you feel like doing, just do it. We get constant reminders that we will not be here forever. So
Yes. Yes.
unparalyze yourself and get
I
to
think
action.
now more than ever, like we realize, waking up to that Michael actor that had passed away,
Yeah. Just
wonderful.
like that.
Yeah, like you never think our Black Panther would pass
Yeah.
away or Kobe Bryant,
Just like
like all
that.
of our heroes that, it's just like nobody is invincible and
Nobody's
people
invincible.
aren't going to like you if you're successful. They're not going to like you if you're failure. Might as well be a success.
100%. Mikey said, "Is there a platform software you suggest to record your podcast on? I'm familiar with Audacity, but that takes a lot of work to edit, overlay tracks,
Yes.
etc." Yeah, Mikey, I use Audacity, but I only use Audacity to transfer WAV files to MP3 files. I use Ableton only because I use that same system to make music with. So I only use that because that's what I know. But if you use StreamYards, it records everything for you, audio
Yes.
and video. And if whatever place you want to send it to, whether it be Twitch, whether it be YouTube, whether it be Facebook, whether it be anywhere, it'll send it
LinkedIn.
there to up to like what 10, 15 locations that you can send this
Hmm.
to. So I'm definitely plugging StreamYards, Mikey. I would recommend highly use StreamYards.
They need to sponsor us, right? They need to
There we
have,
go.
right? Hello,
We just said
StreamYard.
it.
We would like to be the spokesperson for
We just
you.
said it. Yeah.
And this podcast, Alive for Success, is being sponsored by
Yeah.
StreamYard for all your
Yeah.
streaming needs.
That sounded like reality to me.
It is. It's so true. It's so true. You're going to check it out. Yeah, check it out. So the other thing, Michael, that I love about StreamYard is it doesn't stream to Instagram, but you can download it and
Mhm.
then put it on IGTV
Yeah.
manually. So it's another great way. And you
Yes.
could do one thing and get so much content, it's just so fantastic. So, speaking of your positive attitude and the way you see the world, I'm just super curious, like during these past 18 months, 2 years, whatever, that we've been living in a new world of uncertainty, a new world where we never thought we'd be out somewhere and everybody wearing masks. And
Mhm.
I was the other day going to the Hollywood Bowl. I think I was seeing her and I had a mask and a shield. I'm like, is this sexy, this welding look or what? But I'm not going to stop going. I'm not going to stop going to live concerts. I literally went to, I think, 8 concerts.
Nice.
And yeah, and August, I couldn't. Sergio Mendes, Carlos
Oh,
Vives,
wow. What was Sergio
D
Mendes?
D Nice. Yeah, 5 of my friends performed with Sergio dancing.
Oh,
I saw
wow.
her. I saw Dave Koz. I saw
Nice.
Sheila. Just everybody. Everybody can't
Yes.
can't stop. But how did you and do you keep yourself going? I know you mentioned some of the music you like, but what are the other tools that you use to keep yourself up when things are so uncertain?
Well, I'm fortunate that I didn't have to do the pandemic by myself. I have 4
Yeah.
other people living in this house, so that's been, I can imagine, for the people who spent that year and a half or, or more or so more alone, like,
I went crazy.
yeah, my heart goes out. My heart goes out to you all. And then our kids are old enough to, like, they're people, you know what I'm saying? So it was basically it
Uh-huh.
was 4 people in the house, so that was cool. Doing the live stream show, doing Hot Lunch, it helped me also. It really did. And I'm thankful for what you said, because I've met a few people on also on the Bigo app that I talked to off app, and they were like, I don't think you understand, like, what I'm saying, I was in the hospital and it made me feel
Oh,
so much better. And I just lost such and such, and that made me feel so much better. And talk to somebody else is like, I was really going through so much in life, and I tune in because it makes me feel better. And like, I started getting choked up a little bit. Like, I'm just playing music, and I
right.
try to keep. That's all I'm doing. And it's like, nah, you're not just playing music. So once I step back and look at it, then it's helpful for me too.
Mhm.
It's helpful for me as a person and as a DJ. To DJ every day, every day, every day, every day, every day, every day. You got to think of some new stuff. You got to find some new songs.
Exactly.
You
It
got to do
keeps you
some
on your
remakes. It keeps you
toes.
on your toes. So that's been such a benefit. I'm trying to think what else was. I mean, keep it real. I've always been a homebody, so to be like stay inside, I was like, well, I was going to anyway. Because usually,
You were going to anyway.
I was going to
Are you an
anyway.
are you an introvert?
I am. I'm an
Mm,
introvert. When I'm
mhm.
on stage, let's go. When I'm off stage, I don't need everyone looking at me. That just feels weird.
Ah.
Yeah,
So it was
definitely.
you were very happy. You're like, "Yeah, I can stay
I
home. I'm
could stay
not no
home.
FOMO."
No, I, not even that I was happy. It was just normal. It was just regular. Yeah, I
Oh,
mean, we go places here and there, but with the kid schedule, and what I'm saying, there's always something going on. So it's not
mhm.
much hanging out, if that makes sense.
Right, but how did it affect your business, and how did you turn it around when you weren't doing parties in person and you didn't
Well,
know about Bigo or how, like
I mean, the first 2 months, the EDD was popping. I was like, because
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie, because
exactly.
the tour the, the tour that I was about to start did one day, and then it was
Oh,
done.
you
It
were
did
about to
one day, then
start
it
a
was done.
tour?
Yeah, and then it was done, and then had residencies lined up that the buildings
Ah,
closed. So
ah,
it was one of the ones you had to do like a deep inhale, exhale.
yes.
Yeah, it was. But then there was light at the end of the tunnel, and it's like, all right, it. You just got to roll with the punches.
Right.
I remember one day, so many things felt like it wasn't going right, and I was taking it personally, which I don't know why. I was just like hitting you with one of those, like, why is this happening to me? Like, I can't believe this is happening to me. And then I got just hit with a reality check. It's like, it is what it is. It just is what it is. Most of the time, we want to complain about something or feel bad. It is what it is. It had nothing to do with me personally. It was just stuff that was happening. So
Right.
uh that's been a key to being calm, in situations where it seemed like you would lose your mind. It is what it
Right.
is.
Yeah. And that's really an important mantra in self-talk because I too, was really like, why are they doing this to me? I
Mhm.
finally got my goal of being an international speaker. I had my first gig in Monaco,
Turn
and
up.
then Italy, and then Medellin,
Yeah.
Colombia. Okay,
Yeah.
getting paid to go to these places, and then they're
Yes.
like, "Nope, it's canceled, and we're not rescheduled." I'm like, "What are you talking about?
Wow. Yeah.
Deposits back,
Yeah.
all of that." And like, I didn't say it is what it is, but I said to myself, Deborah, you have to trust in divine order that
Mhm.
there's always a bigger picture and not
Mhm.
to look at the micro of this is what your calendar looks like empty.
Yeah.
Because I used to have like a whiteboard calendar and I'd have to write for like 2 years and then marker and I had to see it in big and there's nothing to write. What a free schedule. I have
Yeah.
nothing. I don't even have to wear shoes. But it's like that positive self-talk, like it has to be present. Otherwise, it's easy to get into that. I call it the Debbie Downer place. I don't know if you have a name for your negative self-talk. It's like,
The
no,
dark hole.
I can't entertain you. There's no room for you here at the table. There's no room.
Yeah. It's true. But how did you ever have the opportunity to look at it like, even though you didn't get to physically do the gigs, what you asked for, you booked them. Like, you know what I'm saying? You got requested. You got what you wanted. Like, with
Yes.
did that ever come to a point was like, okay, I'm still doing good. I'm killing it. What I asked for, I did receive,
Yes.
to a certain extent, even though you didn't get to go there, but it still shows you that that's definitely in your cards that you could do that.
Yeah, and actually the Medellin one came back and I turned it down because I didn't feel comfortable going to Colombia. They wanted me to do it this year in
Uh-huh.
September, and I was like, no.
it
I am Colombian, but
was
I'm
a lot
gonna I'm gonna
it
pass.
was a
I'm
lot
gonna pass.
nicer 2 years ago. It was so nice there. Yeah.
Yeah, but to your point, what you're saying is I kept an attitude of gratitude. I said my major goal right now is to stay healthy.
Nice.
And as long as I stay healthy and keep my entire family also healthy and all of my extended friends and all of my community, like I just wanted everyone healthy, then like my values changed, like my focus changed. It wasn't
Mhm.
about, okay, how can I get this and rise with my career. It's like, how can I stay alive?
Yeah.
I switched my energy, and also the attitude of gratitude, like you, how can I serve and who can I serve? Because
Mhm.
before I was focusing on corporate, and then the universe moved me to small businesses. And now I'm working with Arkansas, Louisiana. Think of how much Louisiana needs me right now. I just got a contract.
Yeah.
It starts this month.
Nice.
Yeah. So the universe will always redirect you to that
Mhm.
place of alignment from
Mhm.
the place of gratitude. But I really admire your way of being because it's like a flow, right? And it's like music is like a flow too, right?
Yes.
Like it's not a hustle, but it's a flow. It
It's a
seems to me,
flow.
right? Can you explain that? I mean, that's the energy I get from you. Like you're not
Yeah.
trying to push things.
Well, I had to learn that because of years
Oh.
of pushing things, be like, why isn't
Oh.
anything working out?
I know,
It,
me too. Me too.
and I wish I could quote the many people who've said it, but it is true. The more you try to uh, push for something, you're really pushing it away. And I think you're just scaring off your opportunity with your over aggressive behavior. When you can just relax, and then what comes to you is what you ask for the correct way, instead of
Right.
and I spent years being like, well, how come I'm not this and how come I'm not that and da 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 da, and then it's like, shh, it's not about
Mm.
you.
Oh, that's so good.
It's like, it's not about you. Yeah, you have a lot.
Mm.
You have a lot. It's not about you. What? Who else needs? Who else needs?
I love it. That is so powerful. I'm like just taking that in because that is wisdom there. It is not about you
Not
because
about you.
it isn't. And when we go from a place of who can we serve, and everything always falls into place.
You know what's a great example, and I'm so proud of my brother. Like it warms my heart. Do you know KG?
Yes.
So KG's Utopia that he was doing in Lemert Park this summer.
Oh, I've seen video all over Instagram.
Oh my gosh. It was the most beautiful thing that could happen to an area that
Right.
needed something beautiful to happen.
Exactly. I used to have
He
my office right there and my podcast studio right there in Leimert Park.
Oh my gosh. It
Mhm.
it it culminated it ended this summer with him doing a 3-day DJ festival, and it had some live performers also on Saturday and Sunday and Monday, all in the Mert Park. It went from like 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. every day for those 3 days. The day that I got to go Saturday. Every DJ was on fire that day. When I'm telling you, I was there for maybe about 4 hours before I had to leave. Every song was good.
Oh,
Every song.
wow.
It was just amazing. And when I saw it, all I see, this is G. This is KG realized. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Like,
Right.
because we talked about doing something like this years ago, but it was
Mhm.
one of those things where it's like a push, 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 push. You know what I'm saying? We kept
Mhm.
pushing it away. Finally, he was like, no, it was no more pushing. It was just, I need to pull from what I need to make this happen.
Right.
And it was never about money. Like G does not make money doing Utopia. It cost him money to do Utopia. He
Mm.
has to rent like the sound equipment and pay some of the DJs to come in perform, and all
Right.
this is out of his pocket.
Oh,
But for
wow.
the big picture of what Utopia is, which I would highly recommend you have KG on here. So, oh my gosh, it's gonna blow your mind
I
on
would love
what
to. Yeah.
Utopia is. Like it seems like it's a dance party, but it's not. It's not. It's I just you gotta have KG.
Ooh, it sounds like a great experience. Yeah,
And
I
I'm
I
so
could
proud of him.
feel the energy of it through Instagram. Like
I'm so
every
proud of
post
him.
I saw about that was like, "Ugh."
Yeah, and that's not even scratching the surface of what it
Yeah.
is.
But
Yeah.
I love your example of letting go because when we push and we hold on and we're attached to something, then it's the limited version of what it could
Mhm.
be rather than the unlimited version when we release attachment. And then,
Yes.
like you said, shh and listen and hear and then take inspired action. I'm always doing that, and I have to go within for that. I do a lot of walking on the beach. What are your some of your daily practices that you do that help you to align to hear that? Because I think everybody has these divine downloads, but not everybody can hear it because they're not quiet and still enough.
When I'm disciplined enough to meditate, I I like to meditate. I like to just sit there 20, 30 minutes and be quiet. For the past few weeks, we have a American bulldog, and we'll go walking. And we're supposed to only walk for like 20, 30 minutes before those dogs get tired, but we'll be
Right.
out for an hour, hour and a half, just walking. Sometimes I'll leave my headphones home on purpose, just so I can just listen to nothing. I don't want to listen to
Yes.
anything. I just we
Just like a
just and we just
moving
walk.
meditation.
It's a moving meditation, and we just walk. And so many answers come that way. And strangely, I don't like this, but it happens a lot. I get a lot of answers while I'm driving. If I'm
Ah,
driving and there's nothing playing, nothing on,
yeah,
lots of stuff come to me. And I'm like, well, I can't write this down now. I'm driving,
I
but that's
know.
when a lot of answers come. 9 times out of 10, it's just when it's quiet, so you can hear.
I always get it when I'm like paddleboarding. So we do yoga on the paddleboard. I'm like laying on the board. I'm like, oh my God, that's a brilliant idea. Nemo, did you get that note? I'm telling Nemo in the water. I'm like, listen, write this down.
I thought Nemo was a new app. Oh, they got a new Nemo app. What's this Nemo app?
Like
It's like a
literally, like
secretary.
Nemo's looking at me like, yeah,
Nice.
yeah, girl. I
And
love it.
shout out to Beverly Washington. She said she went to Utopia the whole weekend. Hey, it was good, wasn't
Was it
it?
this Labor Day weekend
It
that
was
was
just
the end of it?
yes for this season. For this season,
Okay. And when's the next season?
next summer probably.
Oh, next summer.
And there'll be things in between. G got to tell all this. I don't want to tell G's
Okay.
stuff, but
Okay. You'll connect me, right? So
yeah.
then I
But
can
for
interview.
yeah,
I
you
love
have to
it.
speak with G.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, I can't wait. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And just think, I mean, this summer was so much better than last summer, which is basically my excitement was walking to the grocery store. Like right Rainbow Acres. And now this summer I got to go more and more. And just like next summer is going to be the ultimate summer of our lives because one of the things we do is we appreciate each other more. Don't you appreciate things that you took for granted before?
You
Like
know,
hugs,
yes, yes. And I don't want to speak for other people,
right?
but I don't think a lot of people are there just yet.
Ah,
And I think they'll be there next summer. I think this summer they just wanted to be outside so much that it's really not about appreciating it. It's just about being there. It's like I just want to be outside. Because I've been DJing at La Descarga,
ooh
and
la descarga,
yes,
the
I
Cuban
DJ.
speakeasy place.
Yes.
That's my favorite place. I had so many birthdays there.
Oh, turn
Yeah.
up. Yeah, I DJ there on the weekends when I'm not busy, but usually Friday
Ah,
nights definitely, but then Saturday nights if I'm there. But
ah,
I like spending there because I'm up in a booth. I'm not really amongst people, but
right.
people are very respectful there. Like everybody comes in with their mask on, which is
They
super
do?
cool. Yeah,
Do
yeah.
you play salsa?
Oh, salsa, bachata,
Ooh la la!
cumbia,
I
reggaeton.
wanna
Like, oh yeah,
know.
oh
Oh, how
yeah.
am I missing this? We need to have a system to find out when you're doing all of these things because everything you do, I know is gonna be fun.
That's supposed to be social media, but I
Okay.
never post it because usually, especially with
See?
but La Descarga is like RSVP. You got to be on the guest list. All
Yeah, but
these
I know how to
things.
do that. That's
I
not
mean,
hard.
okay.
Yeah, you're doing a disservice by not letting us know everything that you're we need to know
Oh, my
because
bad.
some of us need to get out.
I will share. I will share.
Okay. So speaking of that, how can we stay in touch with you? What is your best platform?
Best platform. Well, my best platform is djunique.com. That's usually where
Okay.
I push all traffic to djunique.com.
Okay.
And for anybody
DJunique.com.
watching right now, be sure to register. You can register there. It's absolutely free to register. I post custom mixes on that website and remixes and
Ooh.
original content, and you have access to all of it just being registered. And it's free to register at djunique.com.
Oh, that's
Then I
smart.
then I guess Instagram next, even though
Okay.
I try to I Deborah, I'm really trying to get better at social media. But in the back of my mind, I'm kind of hoping that it dies out and people go
I
back to
know.
regular social stuff.
Yeah. You're
But
like,
it
can I
is,
just give you a flyer?
yeah.
No.
But I mean, it is what it is.
Right.
I do respond on these sites, but I try not to spend too much time on it. Because if I start on it and I look up, I'm like, oh, I've been on this thing for an hour. Then I'm like, oh, I've been on this thing for an
Right.
hour. Yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah. I delegate now. I have a help. So I don't get stuck on there. But yeah. So definitely okay. So Instagram because I could tell my mom could tell everybody at her Lancaster she'll get her whole church group going. They have a whole
oh,
dance
turn up.
group. My mom was dancing in like this Filipina dance troupe. I'm like, Mom, you're not Filipina. She's like, I don't care.
I don't
I'm
care.
like, you're
Oh,
so
turn
funny.
up.
I'm like, you're still performing at the Lancaster Performing Arts Center. She was
Yeah,
performing.
that's
Yeah,
absolutely adorable.
she's so cute.
Purpose. Purpose.
Purpose,
Purpose.
exactly. When we have purpose and we have passion, we have pleasure. Ooh la la,
Ooh, I
ooh la
like your
la. It's
piece.
the 3P program.
I like that. I
You
like that.
can't be in depression or desperation when you're in purpose, right?
Y- yes, it's not in law with the universe. So that's almost a red flag for anybody who's going through that. Like, what are you doing? It seems like you're doing something you're not supposed to be doing, and that's why you're unhappy.
Ah.
Just an option.
You because we are unhappy when we're out of integrity with our soul, when we're out of alignment.
Mm-hmm.
Our body is telling us either through a physical sensation or a mental uncomfortability, right?
Mm-hmm. Something's not right.
Something's not right.
Something's not
Something,
right.
something, something, something just ain't right.
Ain't
I
right.
go to
Turn up.
Key Sweat. I go into Key Sweat. I can't sing, man. I better stop.
They just performed the R&B Rewind concert here in Ontario last night.
Oh, it was
That was
live? I
Tuesday. That
thought it
was
was like a
Sunday.
Facebook
No,
thing
no,
or
that was
something.
Sunday. That was Sunday. But that same show we had seen before the pandemic in LA. It was like Key Sweat, TLC,
Uh,
112, Jagged Edge, a few other people. Like it was a good show. It was a good
I
show.
just really enjoyed Keith Sweat on his verses. I was like, Keith
He
can still make you sweat. He's
Yes,
good.
100%. And I love TLC. Shout out to Chili. Shout out to T Boz.
Uh,
Love TLC, but nobody is supposed to perform after Keith Sweat.
Oh.
Nobody's supposed to
Oh,
vote.
really?
Nobody.
Nobody!
Yeah.
Nobody!
After Keith left that
Nobody!
stage, that show was over. And I love TLC, but it was like, well, that was the show. Like,
Oh,
he's that good.
wow. Yeah, he
He's
is.
that good. Sounds
I was
sounds
like,
clean, looks good. Like, yeah, is the reason why he's been around as long as he has.
yeah, yeah.
Same thing like Ronald Isley too. You were at the D Nice concert.
Oh, yeah! I was like, Silver Fox?
Silver Fox.
Grandpa, oh my God, you're looking good. You're looking so good.
It's so good. Highlight of okay. What's your highlight from the D Nice concert if you have one?
I didn't know how much I needed gospel. Like the I just need a little more Jesus. Like that I
Yeah,
did
so
not
good.
know that I knew I needed more Jesus, but I didn't know I needed that gospel. It was just so fantastic. And of
Nice.
course, I am a big Escovedo family friend. So
Hey,
Sheila
yes,
looking like a goddess,
yes,
like
and
beyond
rocked it.
beautiful, and having had recovered from COVID, I think 2 weeks ago or a week ago or something.
Really?
Yeah, she had to cancel some concerts and to come out on stage and be so amazing. I was like, wow, the soul.
Wow.
Yeah,
That just adds even more sugar to that
right?
because she was on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, throwing drums and stuff. I'm like, okay,
I mean,
Miss
Common
Sheila.
doing some breakdancing was cute too. I was
That
like,
was
oh,
cool. That
that
was
was cool.
cool. I like the Universal Mind Control song. I wouldn't have did it, but anyway, that's neither here
Who
nor
was your
there.
favorite?
Deborah Cox singing
Yes,
"Nobody's Supposed to Be Here"
yes,
was the
yes,
highlight of the
yes,
everything.
yes.
Because
Right?
I was even telling the people that watch on Hot Lunch, I'm like, if she does that song, like get ready, I'm gonna be singing the whole thing. Turn up, sing the whole thing. I couldn't. She was there, sounded just like the record, ladies and gentlemen. Deborah Cox sounds just like the record. Want to give
She's
you a heads up.
amazing.
She's amazing.
The most amazing thing was seeing like all of the people that you
Yeah,
love that you hadn't seen in 2 years. Like I'd see a whole row. Oh, hi, 6 people. Hi, eight
really
people. Like it was just like row after row. It's
nice.
awesome. It
And
was
I was
awesome.
super. Shout out to D Nice that
Yes.
a DJ sold out the Hollywood Bowl.
Isn't that amazing? That just shows you the possibility for you, right? That
Yeah,
he did that,
it's
right?
very inspiring, very inspiring. And
Right?
I was watching it and I just kept thinking this was written down in a book somewhere.
Right.
This didn't just pop up like, oh, let's do Club Quarantine at the Hollywood Bowl. Nah, this was in the making. This was grind, grind, grind.
Right.
Go online, do this, do that. Like this was all perfect. And so whoever worked that plan, whoever came up with the concept, the idea, and saw it through fruition, round of applause. You did an
Yes.
amazing job
And
because
did
D
you
Nice
hear?
rocked at the Hollywood Bowl.
And I was gonna buy a ticket for New York because, before everything, I was like, oh, maybe I should go to New York. And they postponed it because of the storm
Yeah.
flooded for
Oh
safety
yeah.
reasons. Like, who would have thought? Like, okay, we survived quarantine, we survived COVID, survived September 11th, and now we're flooded. Like,
Yeah. Can't catch a
warning you,
break.
New York. If you
Can't
can make it there, you can make it anywhere. You know what
Hey,
I'm saying?
especially if you can make it there now
I know.
underwater. It sucks.
It's
But
crazy.
it is what
Well,
it
I could
is.
talk to you all night. We can go for another 2 hours, but I know you got to go back to your beautiful family. I love your family.
Oh,
I
turn
see
up.
all the
Thank you.
pictures. I was like, oh my God, look at these children. They're just adorable. Oh my God. Love you guys. So, any final words of wisdom before we let you go?
I don't know. I wouldn't say words of wisdom, but have you ever seen the movie Life with Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence?
No.
Oh, it's an amazing movie.
Okay.
Hilarious. But there's a scene, there's like a montage that happens after they get arrested and they have to spend life in jail together of a crime that they didn't commit. That's kind of like the basis of the movie.
Oh.
So after they spend so many years in prison, you can see some of their fellow cellmates just slowly disappearing during this montage. And it hit me and it's like, wow, that's really what it feels like it's happening right now is people that I know. Rest in peace to my friend Renee, amazing drummer. Just 2 weeks ago, young guy, heart attack, no longer with us anymore. Just like that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
So,
yes.
I don't know. Do you know Sean Antonio?
Mm-mm.
Good friend of mine. He was a nightclub promoter for years and years. Now he's a motivational speaker and life coach.
Oh,
Amazing guy.
cool.
I would also recommend him to you. He will
Okay.
blow your face off. You want Sean Antonio on your show.
Okay. Sean
Heck
Antonio.
yes.
Okay.
So one of the days me and Sean was talking, it's like, what if you only had 3 days? What if you had 3 days and then you weren't going to be here anymore? So we've been kind of in a practice of living 3 days at a time. Like I only got 3
Oh,
days left. So what do I
wow.
want to get completed in the next 3 days, just in case I'm not here anymore?
Oh,
because
wow.
that's a reality. It's a super
I
duper
know.
reality
I
that
know.
you never know. There's no rules to any of this. Things happen the way they happen. So while you have the ability, I have a song out right now called "Break It Down." It sounds like it's just about fun and turn it up, but it's
Right.
about you have the ability to move your body now. So move your body now because there will be one day that you might not be able to move your body no more.
Exactly.
So while you can now, break it down, turn up.
Exactly. J.I., do you know J.I. Blue Dixon John? He says, I know exactly what he's talking about. I relate to that life sequence as well. So true. He's a
Yeah.
musician as well.
Nice to meet you, Mr. Blue Dixon. But yeah, that scene is just fading away. And then that's it. So come on, y'all. You never know. Live your life. Live
I
your
love
life.
it.
I
I'm going
know
to do it.
people tell you all
72
the time.
hours. So,
72
like, if you
hours.
only had 3 days, what would you do to?
What would you
Yeah.
do?
Okay.
Who would you call? Who would you want to hang out with? What would you eat? You know what I'm saying? What would you
I would
listen
eat that
to?
cookie, man. I wouldn't starve myself from the carbs. I'd forget the kale. Give me the cookie.
Eat the cookie. Eat the cookie while you're walking. There you go. But now you get the best of both worlds. Just eat it while you're
Exactly.
walking. Turn up.
Exactly. Thank you so much for brightening all of my audience with your beautiful light. You definitely are unique. Everything that you put in your acronym, I see it, I feel it, I know it, and I bless you. And anything that I can do to support you, if you want to just tag me when you put a post, and I'll share it to my people. I believe with the power of synergy, anything is possible, and that we all need to support each other in reaching our visions. That we do not have to do it alone. And I'm the person that did
100%.
quarantine alone, but I wasn't alone because I had God, I had Jesus, I had my mom, I had my family, I had my friends. But we are never alone when we know we're at one with the one. So I'm so grateful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Okay.
I'm gonna send you KG and I'm gonna send you Sean because I'm telling you,
Okay.
I'm gonna leave a
And
period at
Victor
that.
says, send Debbie my song. He said, send
Ah, will
Debbie my
do.
song.
Will do.
Okay.
Will do. Time
Stacy
COVID
says,
is
thank
over.
you. Great
It's
energy.
time to
Stacy, did you hear
party.
his,
Yeah.
his story about Prince? Make sure you go back and listen to the beginning. She'll
Oh,
freak
okay.
out. She'll be like, oh my
I got a
God. Okay,
Mariah
thank
Carey. I got a Mariah Carey one too, but we'll save it for next time.
Oh, okay. All right. We're gonna have to save it for next time.
Yeah.
All right.
All
Thank
right.
you so much for
Thank
being
you.
here. And thank you all for tuning in. We are here each and every week. Next Tuesday, I have a very special guest. He is here in the chat, Mr. J.I. Blue Dixon. He's got an amazing podcast all about Prince and his best songs. He's an amazing musician, talented artist, and he's going to be here. So you can tune in next Tuesday, 6:15 Pacific time. We are really looking forward to seeing you. And remember, my friends, with the power of synergy, anything is possible. Ciao.